Jelly Gang, welcome back to the channel. It's another Friday, it's another Jellyverse Weekly. Today here with the title Builders Build. With this, because the current market sentiment is not looking very good. If we look here on the chart, Bitcoin crashed down to 55,000. It doesn't look so crazy on the chart here because I'm on the old chart right now. But I think a lot of people anticipated that Bitcoin is going to hold the 60K support. And now we crashed through that. And if we look at the altcoin market, things look worse. Most of the coins are in the 7-day, 24 hours ratio between 10 to 20% here in a loss. So a significant setback that is not unusual for a bull market. Of course, it's very regular and expected behavior to have those phases within the bull market, but still something very significant that a lot of people fear. And you can really feel the fear right now in the communities, in the sentiment, in the overall market. And with this also, this has impact on the jelly price. So the only thing we can do right now is really focus on providing value and pushing things forward. And for this, let's go through the other headlines and news, the discussions around the governance systems, which took place in the last week in the Jellyverse community. If you want to follow that one, we had a very, very good Twitter space, which you can still listen to the recording. We talked about this, I think, half an hour about how the staking system works, how the voting system works. So if you want to dive into this, feel free to listen to the X space. If you want to have a bit more insight, this is probably going to come in an article. So we're working on a very detailed explanation on how all of the math works behind the staking side, how the power, how the voting power is calculated, how those different positions are behaving over time. And we're going to need a bit more time to really set this in stone and to really communicate it perfectly. So we are working on an article for this. And then once the article is done, I'm probably also going to record a video with the article to explain that. The stable pools has been integrated. We communicated that already in the Twitter space. It has also been implemented with oracles, meaning that stable pools can now be used for assets such as USDC, USDT, which are always the same value, but stable pool math can also be used for pools such as ISA or SAY, which are more close to each other, but not exactly one-to-one. And for those pools, you also need an oracle, which is a little bit more of a complexity, but both of those things have been implemented. With this, wrapped Ethereum has been listed for quite a while now. We can actually shorten this here, wrapped ETH. That's really cool. So if you want to bridge your Ethereum over to Jellyverse, if you want to go into the Ethereum Jolly pool, that is set up. It's running, it's incentivized. I think it has a decent amount of inflation rewards right now going in, so a decent APR, and definitely something to check out. And then we have the listing on Coingecko, which is in there for quite a while now, but just as a quick reminder here that you can always check that out there. And the airdrop payouts happened for most of the phase 1 airdrops that we did in the past. I believe not all of them are fully covered. So if you're still waiting for your airdrop, don't panic. We're going to prepare a thread on X where we can summarize all the different payouts and you can double check whether you got your payout or not. But for most of you, if you check your wallet, you will probably find your airdrop already received. In today's episode, we want to focus a bit more on the short-term roadmap, and I'm going to give you a better overview what's going to come in the next weeks and what's ahead of us. New quests on Jellyverse community are coming. I think some of them has been pushed live already this week. The others will come next week. So if you are enjoying using Jellyverse community to try out the platform, to do some quests, to earn some Jelly tokens, there will be new quests for you. We have the claim page upgrade. I think this is something really, really cool. A lot of people provided feedback that the claim page needs a bit more life, a little bit more feedback for the user. So the designs have been finished there, and I think the implementation is happening right now. So this is going to become soon. We have the stable pools in action. Since we finally integrated everything, we now have to bring them into action. ISA will be the next one. Probably, most likely, the blocker for ISA right now is the Oracle itself. So there's Say is still working on an Oracle for ISA, or if I say is working on that, that's probably misleading. Many different parties, including Silo, are working on an Oracle for ISA. So ISA can be used on Yay Finance, can be used on JellySwap, StableMath, etc., etc. And then we have the stable pool with FRAX that we're looking towards to, a really, really exciting pool that we're trying to finalize with a pretty strong partnership here with FRAX. This could be a tri pool with USDC, USDT, FRAX. And this could be a very good alternative to the USDC, USDT DAI pool that you are used to on Curve, maybe on Ethereum. And we're trying to wrap up the same strategy here. So it's really, really cool. This pool will probably have multi incentives, which we have highlighted here. So there's not going to be only jelly rewards in this pool, but also say rewards and maybe also some other rewards. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be definitely interesting. And with those pools coming live, we will have more strategies on Yay Finance with Jellyverse possible. So people will be able to, for example, borrow, say, the swap that into ISA, deposit ISA back into Yay Finance, borrow more Say, loop those strategies, or maybe find some other loop strategies here for the stable pools as well. So that's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. And yeah, I think after the stable pools, we will probably have the distribution of the Jelly Bowl number one. I think this is definitely progressing very well. So you can expect that to be happening in the next weeks. Then we have the liquid stake portfolio pool. I think this will be one of the first portfolio pools we're going to see on Jollyverse, primarily focused on having liquid stake tokens paired together. We could also call this maybe a liquid staked index. Something like this, I think, would be really, really cool and would be one of the first real cool use cases for the portfolio pool section. And yeah, for this, we need a couple more tokens on chain. So I believe SDAI is coming to Say and some other tokens. So once this arrives, we can set up those portfolio pools. And of course, one of the most hottest topics is going to be the exchange listing. That's cooking for quite a while right now. I think the exchange is doing good progress on the integration of Say V2. Once this is unblocked, then we can also go ahead with the Jolly listing. And then there's some smaller things, CMC, DEX Screener, DeFi Llama update. Jellyverse is already listed on CoinMarketCap, but the DEX is not integrated, so the price sheet is not there yet. This is something we're definitely working on. The DEX screener would be definitely cool, even though we are already on Gecko Terminal. And then we have DeFi Llama to update. The TVL is already there, but volume not yet. So we have to update a subgraph endpoint on our side, and then we can integrate this as well. And then generally speaking, UI UX improvements are always on the roadmap. This is very important. This always happens in parallel, so don't worry about that one. And a highlight, probably, most likely, is going to be the JS testnet in the next weeks. I'm not sure if this is going to really fall into the 2 to 6 weeks short-term roadmap that I have here on my sheet. This is, I think, up to Black Swan to communicate one more time properly. But I think having tested here maybe during the time is realistic. In the midterm, when a bit more down the road, I think we can expect an oracle for Jolly to come live. The biggest blocker right now for this is the exchange listing. Once that's done, we unblocked the lending markets, which is a huge use case for the Jolly token. So we definitely want to get this done as soon as possible so that we can use Jolly on Yay Finance, for example. And Wrap Bitcoin and Say is progressing very well. I think what we need here is a proper sorting that not a single party is taking over the whole custody on Say. I believe Say Foundation is in discussion here with Layer Zero and with the big bridges to make that happen. And I believe this is definitely something we can expect in midterm. Airdrop Phase 2 is definitely going to be one of the interesting ones. This is going to really help to grow the community, to boost things forward. This is most likely going to be a more locked airdrop so that we avoid any sell pressure, but to give out a lot of staking positions to many, many people and yeah, make some cool advertisement here and grow the community. But all the details for this will be unveiled when the time comes. I think it's a bit too early to talk about this, but still cool to have this on the radar. And then, of course, in the midterm, we have the J assets as the big utility boost for Jollyverse, with having on-chain synthetic real assets available and really start trading with all of those assets, creating portfolio pools and all the important and cool things then that resolve out of this. With this, guys, I hope I give you a good and short, sweet overview about the next steps, what you can expect to happen in the next weeks and months on Jellyverse, and what happened in the short term last week. And with this, I wish you a wonderful weekend ahead. See you soon. See you next time. Bye.